Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to Escape Dead Island, and hopefully this will be the last episode of, well, at least our first playthrough. I say that because we do have DLC to do, which is the Underwater Labs. There's also some New Game Plus stuff, so I'll try and bundle those into one. The New Game Plus stuff won't actually be all too much. Yeah, it won't be all too much crazy. Um, However, there is some things to pay attention to with New Game Plus, but mostly it will be the Underwater Labs, which we'll be focusing on next. But I will go over all of that stuff. I will be going over all of that stuff um, at the end of the video. After I've given my rundown and thoughts, which hopefully I will be able to do at the end of this at least. Because yeah, this is very much the end of the game. We have got a couple of fights to do here, which are going to be extremely fun. I say that with absolutely no sarcasm whatsoever. Oh good, would you look at that. It's Linda again. How are you doing, madam? She's looking less hot than she was when she was alive, but you know, that's just Linda, isn't it? So yeah, we're going to have to fight Linda again, which is always fun, having to kill your friend twice in a row.
I'm ready. Bring it.
Cliff is apparently ready, which is fine. I believe, like last time, we should just need to kill Linda. She is a more souped up version of Linda, and unfortunately we can't get her to jump off the edge. If she could get hit by my shotgun, that'd be fantastic. Linda. Jesus Christ. Right, okay. And of course, all of her shadow zombies also die as well, which is handy, so there's easy fight number one.
I'm done with this.
Now,
I just wanted to set things right.
And it's all right. We're all okay. I think you need some rest.
No, I know what you're trying to do. I want my friends back. Get them off this goddamn island.
You've always been here, self-absorbed, wandering, adrift.
I can change all that, Linda. Just help me out of here, and I'll fix this.
right, I can reload that. Now, the difficult part of this fight is that we do have a couple of bouncers. We have bouncers and butchers. Now, there is an easy way to deal with these guys, though, that doesn't involve fighting, and it is simply to bait them to jump off the edge, which hopefully that guy did. He did not. Okay, we'll just deal with him instead like that. We'll execute him since we can. So there is a way to cheese this fight, because these guys will spawn up to a point. So there is an easy way to cheese this fight, which is to just get the butchers and bouncers to jump off the edge. I think maybe to get a new one to spawn though, we will have to clear out some of these guys. So we'll just deal with this guy perhaps. Ouch. Ouch, okay, yep, no, yeah, okay. That was dangerous. Don't head into a pack of shadow zombies. Note to self. Let's deal with him. Okay. So hopefully now a new one should spawn. If I have got the theory correct. Unless of course they're as part of one big wave. Yeah, there's one of them. One new shadow shambler. Any new butchers? No. Okay, looks like we're just gonna have to deal with these guys then. Those guys are all low, but I need to regenerate my health. Let's just try and wallop one of them because that seems funny. Never mind, we shot one of them at least. That's not the one we needed. One of you guys? Nope. I don't like that there's a glowing thing over there, and I wonder if that has messed with the spawns. Because Escape Dead Island is not entirely the best made game ever produced. As I try and... The reason I'm trying to do this is there is an achievement to get 10 long-range kill shots with the Walloper, and since this is an easy way of kiting these guys around, I have a feeling... Come on, there you go, there's somebody dead at least. Since we have ammo. Lovely. And since these guys are low health, that it won't matter too much if we wasting a bit of ammo. Because once it hits, it should kill regardless of the range. Oh, there's one. Just playing with my food at this point. Still hit the guy in the back. That's not the guy I was aiming for necessarily, but you know. There you go. Another one dead. This thing packs a punch, even if it is at long range. That's a lovely shot there. See, I don't know exactly how far it has to count for it to be a long range kill shot. But you know, it seems to be working a bit. When we gather them all up like this. Since they are just shamblers. Okay, kill that guy and then we'll just... Yep, there's the ball. Okay, so it was down to... Where's the ammo on the ground? Oh, we need to hit it. Yeah, okay. Oh, do I have to get it from a certain angle? Yeah, I do. I need to get it from here. There you go. Right, there's first damage done to the ball. There's that pistol ammo. I'd quite like that. Ah, of course. There's Faith. Looking rather different blown up like that, and also looks completely different to how she did in the videos. But you know, I guess that's always the way, isn't it? Right. So here's this butcher. So hopefully,
You just need to take the serum.
fall off. Damn it! Now I'm going up here. I suppose there's a chance to deal with this guy. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Butcher. I need to hit you to... I need to hit you to... Yeah. Oh, come on, really? Really? You spawned in my way. That's entirely your fault. The butcher's stuck. Fine. Ow. Butcher is no longer stuck. Come on, fall down the hole. You die. Crunch. Lovely. Okay, ow. Okay, he's gonna do that. Ah, come on, you didn't jump. And we're dead. Okay. Because fighting the damn Shadow Butcher is just annoying. Luckily, there is a checkpoint every time you damage the ball, which is handy. Hopefully, we can get the Butcher to kill himself. I'd really like to show it, and it would also speed up the fight immensely, because I won't have to deal with this guy. Ow. Stupid.
I don't know why I'm here. Just help me.
You just need to take the serum.
There you go. There you go. Lovely. Okay, so, yeah. That red glow obviously showed that the Butcher died, which is very handy, because it meant that I don't have to deal with him. So, yeah. Very handy. Butcher killing himself. Let's kill this guy. Hopefully... Oh, come on. Really? That wasn't enough for you to... Stupid... Ah, come on. Oh, come on, really? Okay, I need to avoid damage a bit. Got to avoid damage a bit to regenerate some health. Going for this guy. There you go, okay. Execution as well. Nice and handy, and we're gonna run. I think there should be another butcher. Ow. Come on, man. There's another spitter over here. Oh, come on. Oh no, he'd still got hit. Good. These shadow spitters are real annoying.
Execution style.
Oh, come on. You led that shot? Okay, never mind, we got that guy. We just need to pay attention to any butcher spawns. Luckily, it doesn't look like any more of them have spawned, which means we can deal with these guys. And I'm just going to do this a bit. I can't really. Oh, and there's another spitter, really? Come on, man. You have to really... You really have to be up there? Kind of killing my vibe. Okay, just execute this guy. And then we should probably go and deal with that spitter, because he is kind of a real big annoyance up there. If I had my assault rifle, I'd be able to probably deal with him. Stop that. Get out of it. Okay, spitter down. Do unfortunately have this shambler over here. However, hopefully this will deal with him. It did. Okay, and the ball's back. Lovely. Okay, we only had one butcher to deal with, which is very handy. And that's a second crack on the ball. Here's where it gets interesting though, because we're going to be fighting...
You're not going to wake up after that blow to your head.
We're going to be fighting
Too late
Dr.
now.
Wells.
I'm on my way home.
This is better for you.
Maybe not. Ah, no, this is where we have multiple butchers to fight. Okay, get to the edge. Fell off the edge, what an idiot. Right, there's a bouncer, so we're going to do the same thing with the bouncer. There we go, lovely, there's him dealt with as well, we got some free ammo. There's a butcher. Butcher unfortunately did not fall off the edge, so I'm going to have to interrupt your attack. And I'm going to get to the edge. Oh good, there's the bouncer, never mind, he fell off the edge. Butcher, he also fell off the edge. As you can see, they really thought out this fight, didn't they? There's another butcher, okay. Yeah, this is an entirely very well made boss fight. I'm actually going to lead you over here. That's a terrible, terrible jump. That's also a terrible jump from you. Never mind, he still died. He slipped off the edge. Okay. Butcher's been hit. That was a terrible jump, he didn't even fall off the edge. Oh, Cliff, don't do that. Ah, come on, really? Get out of it. I would really like you to kill yourself. Yeah, that was never mind, that was going to work. I was about to say that's never going to work, but no, that worked. Okay. Any more of yours? Or is that it now? Are we good to go with just walkers, shamblers? I think we're good to go with just shamblers, so might as well Hellfire shotgun these guys since we have it. Come on, don't die now, Cliff, for God's sakes. There you go. And yep, that's the ball. So as you saw, that was an incredibly easy stage of the fight because yeah, you can just get those butchers and bouncers to kill themselves, and that makes the fight go a lot easier. They really thought about this boss arena fight as they went through this. So
what if you're crazy, Cliff? What if this is all in your imagination? What happened to you?
now we're gonna fight Dr. Wells.
Don't get in my way. I need to get out of here to help you.
I think. Yes, there we go. Okay, so this is the Dr. Wells boss fight. So he's difficult. However, he's not as difficult as the regular Wells. The spitters really make this annoying. So we might deal with them at the same time. I'm just going to collect this ammo. Yoink. So we are going to want to focus on Dr. Wells, and this is why the Hellfire Shotgun is so useful, because that was a lot of good damage we just did to Dr. Wells. As you saw, that's a lot of health down to him. I'm stuck on something. Gather weight. He does, however, regenerate his health, but not quicker than we can shoot him. There you go, he's down. And that was the only phase of the boss fight we needed to focus on. So, yeah, focusing on Dr. Wells, very easy. Really, the spitters do prove some annoyance, as you saw, but not enough to really damage us. That is the cure as well. Very interesting that that's down here. But yeah, this should be it. Yep, there you go. That's the box with the cure, and that is the end of the fights. And the end of us dealing with zombies. There's Devon and the cure, and well, what is Cliff going to do? Let's find out together. There's one cure, there's 2 infected people. Will Cliff save his friend, or will he save himself?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And we don't know. We do not know who Cliff chooses to save, whether he chooses to save himself or whether he chooses to inject Devon with the serum. However, we have now awoken on this lovely sand dune. Look at this, lovely. Yeah, we can't go back, can't go forwards. There's a mysterious crate. By the way, Alt is what does this on PC. I very rarely actually used it because half the time I forget it exists, along with the push function as well. I completely forget push exists. Which, yeah, I can't do because we're not in a combat situation. But yeah, we're just going to head towards the mysterious orange box and see what Cliff's going to do with it. Hello, mysterious box. A crab. You could almost say he is raving, perhaps. And this is what Xian means by the island is rigged to blow. What she actually means is the mansion is rigged to blow, but you know, same difference, I suppose. And that small block of C4 did that entire explosion, which yeah, you know, that makes sense. But you know, there goes the mansion, and all the zombies with it, hopefully.
By the time you hear this, I'll be dead, or undead, or insane, or caught in an alternate dimension or something. But I can confirm the suspicions that the deadly outbreak on Banoi was caused by reckless geofarm experiments being conducted in secret labs on the island of Narapella. At least I can get that across. This box contains logs, research notes, pictures, all the proof anyone needs to understand the scope of what humanity is about to face. And some kind of chemical clue that might be able to save them. The virus is real.
Those weapons are not on that backpack properly.
My name is Cliff Kalo, and this is my story.
Hey, Cliff. Still still with us?
And that is the end of the game. So first of all, thank you for sticking along if you're still here. If you've watched the entire series through, thank you. Yeah, this has been the shortest series so far, compared to Dead Island, which was the longest series. By a lot. There was about, what, 50, 52 episodes in Dead Island, my playthrough. And then, what, the 10 or so Rider White campaign episodes, and then Riptide had about 46 episodes or something along those lines. It had less by a lot, it had 40 something, I think. And then this is, well, what, episode 18, and we're at the end of Escape, and that's with most of the exploration. I did miss a couple of collectibles. I'm missing one Charon's log. We're missing one. We're missing one research log. We're missing one geofarm file, I think. However, we do have all the lost stories, and we do have every single snapshot, which, yeah, very nice and very handy. So yeah, we do at least have that going for us. And also we have every postcard as well. Can't forget the postcards. But anyway, yes. So if you enjoyed, the playthrough, do let me know. And if you stuck the way through, thank you. But now, my thoughts on Escape Dead Island, much like how I did for Dead Island and for Dead Island Riptide. What do I think of the game? Quite honestly, it's not my favourite. I'm not a particularly big fan of Escape Dead Island. I have played through this game many times, not necessarily by choice. I played through it a lot to document it for the wiki, getting pictures and everything, so I have played this game a lot. I do know of somebody else who contributes on the wiki and is also a moderator on the Dead Island Reddit, and also a moderator on the Dead Island Discord server as well. But yeah, they sped run the game several times. They're a pretty big speedrunner, and obviously people have speedrun this game, so they're more in tune with some of the more in-depth mechanics of this game than I am. But even so, yeah, this game is definitely not my favourite. I will apologise for the low frame rate of this game and the stuttering and of the music and things, because I am playing this on my university laptop while I'm down here at uni, so hence why we don't have the crisp, smooth gameplay as if I was on my computer at home. So yeah, apologies for that, but hopefully it was still watchable. But yeah, so it's definitely not my favourite game in the series. It is in fact not considered non-canon now by Deep Silver, which means that for Dead Island 2, only Dead Island and Riptide are considered canon, and quite honestly, it's kind of a shame that this game isn't considered canon, even though it is a bit of a cluster truck. The story is definitely bad. It could be a lot better. It could be a lot better, most certainly, compared to how it actually is. Yeah, it's not the most cohesive story. It's also not the most compelling story. Cliff is kind of an asshole. He's definitely not my favorite. Definitely not my favorite character in the series. Definitely not my favorite playable character in the series either. Yeah, Cliff's kind of an asshole. And yeah, the whole reason as to why he is hallucinating is never properly explained. It's implied, I would imagine, that it's something to do with him being infected or due to chemicals, something. However, he starts hearing voices even, at the very beginning of the game when he gets onto the beach. So it can't be from anything, given to him on the island, because he was hallucinating and hearing voices even when he just landed. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know why why the things happen. I don't know why he imagines container ships, shipping containers rather, falling from the sky. I don't know why the zombies disappear. There's a lot of unexplained things. The game is fantastic for lore, even though the lore is considered non-canon now. But um, yeah, it's amazing the amount of lore that's gone into this. That is unfortunately now considered non-canon. But yeah, from a lore standpoint, at least, this was meant to be canon. So the whole point of this is that it was meant to be canon. Dead Island 2 was meant to be made by Sumo Digital, blah blah blah, before it, went into development hell. And there was meant to be a comic book bridging Escape Dead Island and Dead Island 2, which unfortunately never saw the light beyond the first issue. It was meant to be a 3-issue thing. So yeah, it was meant to be considered. It was meant to be canon to the Sumo Digital Dead Island 2, the original vision. However, when it went into development hell and it eventually came out with Dam Buster Studios, they basically wiped it clean. So yeah, unfortunately, none of this is considered canon. It was meant to, but I keep treading old ground here. So yeah, the game choosing to go from the more hack and slash first person version of what we're used to, or were used to at this point at least, of Dead Island and Riptide, was a bold choice. I'll give it that much. It's not the worst thing. However, it's definitely not the funnest thing to continue playing. As you may have been able to tell as I was going through the game, I was starting to get bored and frustrated with the actual mechanics of this. The stealth mechanics, they're fun. Definitely having the takedown and the execution option is definitely fun. I do enjoy those mechanics. But being primarily based around stealth, because Cliff is pretty poor at fighting, the fighting controls are not amazing. As you saw, I did a lot of heavy attacks that I didn't want to, and I made a lot of quick attacks that I didn't want to when I was trying to do one or the other. Cliff himself doesn't have the greatest amount of stamina, and you also can't do anything about it. I don't like the fact that there is no health bar, so I didn't know how low I was getting on health, except for the blood appearing on the sides of the screen. That's not great. A health bar is nice for a reason. But yeah, for some reason they just got rid of it. And upgrading with health packs is a nice idea, but it's not the greatest of mechanics. The enemy selection is okay. They're not used in the greatest of ways. Shamblers instead of walkers is fine. They serve the same niche. Infected being infected is fine. They fill, well, the same niche because they're the same things. Oh yeah, by the way, this is what happens when you reach the end of the credits. And if you want to play New Game Plus, you do have to sit through the end of the credits. And this also isn't a checkpoint, by the way, so I will have to play through all of this before we start New Game Plus again. But yeah, I'll let this play out.
A representative issued this statement. The island of Vanoy remains off limits due to unstable harbor conditions. Contractor negotiations continue in order to rebuild the harbor to accept boat traffic for
That's
the
some PR
foreseeable
bullshit
future.
if I ever heard it.
Here's a thought. Stop listening to the news.
We're about to be the news. Once we get this story, Cliff's dad is gonna publish it worldwide.
Still haven't sobered up, huh?
Hey, Cliff!
Whoa. Isn't that creepy, guys? It's the start of the game, except Cliff's clothes are already damaged and bloody. Oh my god, what a crazy twist. But yeah, this plays out the same as normal, basically.
What? Quit daydreaming and get over here.
Oh yeah, as per other games in this series, we also have no ability to replay the prologue unless you wipe your save, which is pretty standard. But there's also not multiple save files, which is kind of really annoying and frustrating. But anyway, as I was saying, the enemy selection, infectors fill the same niche as infected, so that's fine. Shamblers share the same niche as walkers, that's fine. They're the two basic enemies, that's what you expect. Spitters are interesting. I don't mind spitters, they're annoying. They're annoying most certainly, but they fill the same niche as floaters. And while they're not as easy to deal with as floaters. They are less tanky than floaters, so I'm fine with them. Sirens. Uh, Sirens are kind of bleh. They're pretty rare in the game. Um, we didn't see them all too often, and they're placed in annoying positions. They fill the same niche as Screamers from Riptide. However, they're a lot easier to deal with than Screamers from Riptide, which is fun. Um, so yeah, they're not the worst. They're not the worst enemy. They're definitely better than Screamers because they're a lot easier to kill than Screamers. So I don't mind them. Butchers, I prefer the old Butchers, I'll be honest. The Butchers here with the fighting mechanics, the Butchers here, not great. Um, I don't mind their new attack patterns. It is pretty easy to get a killing, rhythm down, as you saw. Um, you hit them, run away, dodge, heavy attack. Um, that's kind of the basic rhythm. It's like a four-step process. Um, the spin attack is pretty interesting, not too bad. The leap attack, kind of fine. It goes along with bouncers as well. Bouncers are kind of a middle ground. Bouncers aren't too bad. They're kind of annoying. They're kind of a bit too tanky for my liking, but they're also not the worst thing. They're also not. They're not overbearing in the amount that they use. They're used a nice amount. Butchers are used pretty sparingly, which is fine. But then we come to the shadow zombies, and the shadow zombies are not good. Um, I don't like them. They visually they look pretty cool. I like the visual style of them. I like the color distinction, so you know which is which. You know whether you're fighting a infected compared to a shambler, and the spitters are a bright green color, butchers are a bright purple, etc., etc. I like that. However, they do a lot more damage and they have a lot more health, and it's kind of not good. I don't like that. The shadow zombies could have done with a rework or being removed and replaced with something else. Um, I don't like how we can't activate the flashlight manually because there's a lot of places where it's pretty dark and the flashlight doesn't come on. The combat flashlight does not turn on. Um, so yeah, that's not great. I would like to be able to manually use the flashlight when I want to, like in the old games for when it gets dark. But you're reliant on the game itself, and even when the flashlight is turned on, um, it doesn't light up the whole, it doesn't light up a lot, I'll be honest. The camera itself, third-person camera, generally worked fine. However, a first-person option would be nice. The camera did clip into things, and I didn't like that. Mission-wise, there's no quests, there's no NPCs. It feels kind of empty. Um, the previous games felt a bit more, lived in. They felt lonely, but you also had safe spaces. That you had the safe houses dotted around. It gave the game, a sense of safety, but it also gave the game the sense of loneliness when you're out fighting zombies without survivors and going out rescuing survivors, doing their quest for them. It also gives you something to do. um, you can buy things, you can go to the merchants, go to the shops, you can listen to them, you can take their quests, you can fill out their quests, you can go and explore. The map, which I barely showed, is absolutely useless. It's pointless having the map, I'll be honest, which is annoying because no mini map and no regular map, no worthwhile regular map at least, is not very good. I would have liked to have had a proper map. Proper combat controls as well would be nice. The weapon selection is pretty poor. As you can see, I don't start with any weapons now. But the weapons we do get, the silenced pistol is great. It's probably the best weapon in the game. The axes are fine. The katana is fine, but it's also kind of mitigated by the fact that the lever axe is kind of necessary. And the lever axe is also better for shadow zombies. And by the time you get the katana, you're kind of coming to the end of fighting regular zombies, and it transitions to just shadow zombies, which is where the higher damage lever axe is more useful. The silenced pistol is useful. The regular pistol, not so much, but is still quite useful. I do like it. The shotguns are fine. The DLC weapons, as we'll see when we play the DLC, are better. The assault rifle is overpowered. The Walloper is kind of pants. It's no other way to say that. No other way to say that, but yeah, it's not very good. The grappling hook and rope is fine, but you can only use them in certain spots. Yeah, the characters themselves, there's, well, what few characters there are, there's very few characters I particularly like. Yeah, Faith, she doesn't have that much of a role, but Faith seems fine. Dr. Wells, he's an interesting one. Yeah, Devon seems nice, nicer than Linda, I'm gonna have to say. Um, and yeah, there's the whole story with Geofarm and Crown, which we'll get more into with the DLC because the DLC properly explores how Geofarm came to be on the island and came to do all the things they do. So yeah, that's something for the DLC to really talk about and explain. Um, and of course, I'll give my thoughts on the DLC as well. But yeah, generally, this game was a fine idea. The art style I do not actually mind too much. I quite like cell shaded styling, which is what this is. It was definitely a choice. It was definitely one of the choices of all time to be made. To move Dead Island away from the more gritty, realistic of the previous games towards this cartoon, cel-shaded style, especially with the cartoon pop-ups. Um, the cartoon wording that pops up when you hit things or when things happen. Than when you shoot, for example. The cel-shaded art style. Some people don't like it. I don't mind it. It definitely makes it a lot blurrier. Um, when you're looking at things far away, such as that island, especially when you're on the mountaintop. When you're at the mountaintop and you're overseeing the island, it's meant to be a sort of wow, look at this. It kind of isn't because of the cel shaded art style, but then that's just the art style. There's not much you can do with that. So yeah, overall, I do not mind the game. Is it worth multiple sort of playthroughs beyond the first one and maybe New Game Plus? As you'll see when we play through it. Is it worth playing through it multiple times beyond that? No. If you're not interested in New Game Plus content and you just want to explore the base game and the DLC, which you can do them both in a single playthrough, um, I think you'll probably have your fill with the game just with a single playthrough. Um, go through the playthrough, collect all the collectibles, use guides, use the wiki to make sure that you don't miss any on your first playthrough, and then you can access the collectibles from the main menu whenever you want to look at them and read through them. Alternatively, they are all on the wiki. So if you really want to know what all of them said, and you don't want to go through other guides or anything, and you just want to look through them, they are on the wiki for you. Um, so yeah, is it worth multiple playthroughs? No, not really. Is it worth as many playthroughs as I did? No. Um, quite honestly. Um, yeah, it's not the most well-made game. As you saw in that final fight, we cheesed it a whole bunch by getting the butchers and the bouncers to kill themselves off the edge, which is very funny. It's very funny that they didn't think of that. But yeah, it really cheeses the fight and really does make that fight a lot easier. It makes the end of the game a lot easier, actually. Um, Especially when you can just run past the enemies, which is really handy. Um, but yeah, we didn't encounter all too many glitches. We definitely didn't encounter any game-breaking glitches, which I have encountered a couple of times. So yeah, we're lucky. But yeah, not the most well-made game. Could definitely have done with probably more playtesting just to iron out some of these things. Um, but yeah, we played through it at least. So that's another game ticked off of the Dead Island franchise list. So what now? As we close up here, what now for the series? Well, obviously this series is done. Next, we're going to do New Game Plus, which is going to be combined with the Underwater Labs DLC, because New Game Plus does have some content, but it's a lot of background content and stuff that can easily be cut into just a regular video. So next we're going to play the Underwater Labs, and then we will be done with Escape Dead Island. And then what we're going to do is, as much as I don't want to, we are going to play through Retro Revenge, Dead Island Retro Revenge, because I haven't actually completed that game because I find it incredibly boring, monotonous, tedious, and repetitive. However, we do need to play it for completionist's sake. So we will look through that. We will also look through the other part, the other media of the franchise. So we will look through the comics, because there are various comics which I can access all of them, I do believe. So we'll have a look at that. We may have a look at other media, such as the book, which came out at the same time as the first game. We might have a look at some things like the strategy guides. You never know, really. And then we will talk about, because we can't play it, but we will talk about Dead Island Epidemic, which was a MOBA, which unfortunately is shut down and we cannot play at all because there's no servers up. But we will at least talk about it and look at it as much as we can. And then, well, ideally after that it would be Dead Island 2. Oh, we do get a save here. That's pretty handy. I won't have to sit through all of those credits then before this for the next video. But then ideally we would play Dead Island 2. However, I can't play it on this laptop, and my computer at home is not enough. Not enough. It's definitely not young enough to properly play the game. By which I mean I play it on the lowest of graphics as I can, and it still has horrible stuttering and loading time issues and problems like that. It's enough for me to play it fine myself personally. However, for a YouTube series, that's not happening. So Dead Island 2 will have to be on hold until I can upgrade my computer in probably several years' time. So don't hold out your breath too much. The only way we can get around that is if some very kind person at Deep Silver HQ would be kind enough to send me a computer, which it's a long shot, I'm going to be honest. It's a long shot to have that happen. But you know, if there's some kind soul at Deep Silver wishes to send me a Dead Island 2 computer, which I can play Dead Island 2 on for a playthrough, I would be eternally grateful, obviously. Um, but that is unlikely going to ever happen, which is unfortunate but not unexpected. So yeah, if you're looking for a Dead Island 2 playthrough from me, unfortunately it will not be for a while, as much as I'd like to. Yeah, that won't happen for a while. So we will have to content ourselves now with the remainder of the content of this game, the side parts of the franchise, and Retro Revenge, which may take a long time to complete because I don't like that game and it's not very good, at least in my opinion. However, enough of that. Cliff, look us in the eyes for one last time. Um, Close enough. I will thank you all once again for sticking through and watching the playthrough. And the next time you will see this face is when we play New Game Plus and the Underwater Labs. We're also getting immense lag from me doing this, and I'm not sure why. But yes, I will thank you all so much for watching, and goodbye.